Well, guys, we got more about the election here, as it seems everyone's favourite trout, Jess Pisslips, got heckled as she retook her seat up in Birmingham.
Such reticence! Anyway, this election has been... Can you throw them out?
Before we have our first speeches,
Yeah, that's Jess Pisslips being heckled by some pro-Palestine ponces, which you can tell's got her a bit rattled. Maybe a bit like the imported scum she loves did to that teacher up in Batley, I think it was. Which is exactly why I don't even feel sorry for her in the bloody slightest.
Don't give a fuck!
That some people might think is harsh, but Jess Pisslips not only loves diversity and wants more imported, but she also laughed at male suicide, you might remember.
Men, so the opportunity for men to raise issues that are important to them is very limited. And just to give you a flavour, Mr Chairman, of the type of things that may come up and which will be part of International Men's Day, I'm not entirely sure why it's so humorous, but to discuss issues such as men's shorter life expectancy, wider male health issues, many of which go unreported through embarrassment.
Oh yes, this is a violent cretinous hag, so I'm not even sorry when I say this is just her reaping what she's sown. In fact, many would argue it's about time the parasitic class responsible for making diversity our strength experienced it themselves. Thankfully for her though, it's not the level of diversity the working class experience with these sometimes rapey and often stabby imports. Now, I have seen people saying that we should stand with Jess here and all this bollocks, I guess thinking the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but...
I ain't fucking buying that.
No, that saying is bollocks if you ask me, because the enemy of my enemy is still my enemy. Them fighting each other just makes it easier for us to fight them both. But really, the fact Jess demands more of these people and screams about how great diversity is means I'll never feel sorry for her, especially when it comes to shit like this, and less so considering the interview she's actually given after it.
Well, British politics has got caustic and nasty and dishonest, and we have to be really careful not to fall for it. And these people shouting and screaming, I didn't meet those people behind the doors. People were upset. People were kind, people were thoughtful. And yes, many of them were disappointed, and the Labour Party has got to win back their trust. But these people, and what they did throughout the campaign, they do not represent any part of my constituency. That is not what I saw. It was an absolutely horrible campaign, the most aggressive, most intimidatory, not just of me, but of the people in my constituency, people being intimidated, people being told that God will judge them if they vote a certain way, which is an electoral offence. Yeah, it's been pretty awful. Some of my activists had their tyres slashed on election day. I had one day where a young woman who was out leafleting, and they're filming her and screaming like genocide in her face.
Yeah, I'm sure you all noticed that despite talking about these horrible and despicable men she claims harassed people, she didn't once mention who they were, and I bet you can all guess why. I mean, we're up to what, 4 media interviews by her about this now, and not once did she bother to point out the fact it was Muslims she always courted and defended that have been abusing people during the election. Shit, if it was the far right, she'd be screaming it till the cows came home, but instead she beats around the bush to avoid admitting the facts of diversity. That for me solidifies my stance that Jess Phillips here is simply reaping what she's sown, and more importantly what she's forced upon the public who suffer much more on a daily bloody basis.
Pandemic.
Where are